We're going to start off with Emerson. As Spurs did say last night that finally, the long saga is over, and we have reached an agreement with AC Milan for the transfer of Emerson Royal. Wishing you all the best in the future. One of the most longest drawn-out sagas. I was about to say that we've had in recent times, but we've had some bloody long sagas in recent times.
We know a saga or two. So, look, I wish him all the best. Obviously, he's a really popular member of the dressing room. I think he always tried his best. And he's one of these players, you know, a bit like Sissoko, started off as a figure of fun, but I think earned the respect of a lot of the fan base with a lot of improved performances and really upped his game at crucial times. And there was even some points where people were thinking he could be a long-term option, but I think as soon as Ange came in, it definitely changed, and he wasn't really going to be the player for the future. But I definitely respect and acknowledged his time at Tottenham and everything he's put in for Spurs, and he has had some good performances. And look, we've got a bit of money. Yes, we have made a loss, unfortunately, but he's got a really good move to AC Milan, and really happy for him. Barcelona, Spurs, and AC Milan on his CV now, so not a bad set of clubs. And I've seen on their social media they're comparing him to Cafu as well, so they think they've got a very good right back coming their way.
And you know, like, I think for all the jokes about Emerson Royal, I think he will be missed around the place. You know, he was very central to the kind of camaraderie in the dressing room. He always gave 100%. His his application, maybe in training and on the pitch, was always good. It's just that maybe he made some silly decisions sometimes with his no-look passes and stuff like that, but he was a model professional.
I feel like those things added a bit of Brazilian flair to a very un-Brazilian kind of player. Like, he wasn't very technical. Obviously, he's a very strong defensive player, but then he would do some things just to spice things up, like those no-look passes, and sometimes he would come up with a piece of skill like, oh yeah, he is Brazilian. But look, he was always a player I enjoyed having around, and he was a player who would frustrate with some silly things he would do, but I do think he's a good right back. I do think he did all right at us, but I do think the fee we're getting him is probably representative of how his time went at Spurs, probably.
Yeah, I feel like his move is always going to be encapsulated by that no-look pass against Sporting Lisbon.
Literally.
Because whenever people talk about Emerson in the group chats, they always put that kind of video in there.
I remember,
but he was more than that.
Yeah, of course he was. That wasn't really what what he was all about. He was mostly about, his defensive ability, a strong physical defender, really good in one-on-one situations, usually on the right-hand side. Wasn't very good when he went forward, but one of these players, when he kept it simple, he could be quite effective, and that's what he proved to be. But I think when he was asked to take his game up a level under Ange, he just wasn't really capable of doing it.
Yeah. So let's go and have a look at the announcements. If you bring up X, so this is how Spurs announced it. Like I said before, we've reached an agreement with AC Milan for the transfer of Emerson Royal, wishing you all the best in the future. And Spurs couldn't let him go without showing one last compilation of Emerson.
Did Emerson not post a compilation himself?
I don't know if Emerson posted it, but Spurs, I mean, they're obviously playing on the fact that Emerson posted a compilation after even with the 2-minute sub appearance, he would have posted a compilation on his social media. And look, he did have some good times at Spurs.
Yeah, and I think I remember it started off quite shakily, but I remember there were times under Conte and under not just under Conte, under like Mason and stuff, where he was doing quite well, and people were actually quite impressed with him, and he was actually really impressing a few people. He went through that period. I remember he scored a goal, I think it was against West Ham, and he was going through a period where he actually looked like he could have a future here. But as I say, Ange came in. I know, even though Ange came in, he did score on the opening day against Brentford, a really good goal, and he looked like maybe he could
never
be
really
a player under Ange.
space
but
after that.
As soon as Porro got into the team, it was unlikely he was ever going to regain his space. I just don't think he's an Ange ball player. I do think he's got his qualities and he's got his uses, but I just think for us at the moment, he's not the kind of player we need.
Yeah. And this is how AC Milan broke it. They said, let's give Emerson a royal welcome. Then if you scroll up, you'll see him signing that contract, the royal seal of approval. And then they says, bringing a touch of Brazilian to our DNA, AC Milan.
They like a good Brazilian, AC Milan.
They do like a good
I'm trying to look at their squad. Is he like first Brazilian backs in a while, because I can't see any Brazilians in their squad. So I've been thinking they're maybe happy just to have a Brazilian back.
Yeah, maybe.
And I love in the comp, they've got Kaká there, they've got Cafu there, and now they've got
Thiago Silva's probably
Thiago Silva there, and now they've got Emerson.
And then they tweeted out saying Samba do Milan. I don't think they've seen Emerson play if they think they're getting a Samba ball player. But
Look, he can dance the Samba, but I don't know if he can play the Samba.
And yeah, and that was it. That is how they announced it. It does kind of suit him, that red and black, to be fair.
Yeah, I think he looks good in it, and I think he'll do well, Milan. I think Serie A will suit him. I think it's a good move for him, and I think it's worked out for everyone.
Yeah. And the other announcement that we have to bring you, which you all probably know by now, is Dane Scarlett has joined Oxford on a season-long loan deal. He gets his number 44 shirt there as well, showing up that yellow shirt. And he did an interview on the Oxford channel yesterday, saying how excited he is to be there. And look, I think it's a good move for him. A loan spell in the Championship, albeit I probably would have liked to see him go to someone higher up in the Championship. But they did have a good result first game of the season, beating Norwich against the odds. But they've just been promoted, so he might have a bit of a hard season. But they do play the way that maybe we want to see him playing in an attacking brand of football.
They have just been promoted, but you only have to look at last season. Ipswich went back-to-back promotions. Not to say Oxford are going to do that, but maybe that is some evidence of the gap between League One and Championship closing, potentially. So we'll have to wait and see how Oxford are doing. As you said, they got a really positive result on the opening day, and I think it's really important he got a Championship loan. Obviously, the last Championship loan he got was Ipswich, and unfortunately he wasn't able to get into the team, and his minutes was really cut short and barely played a minute, to be honest. But hopefully Oxford can... apparently, it's actually on social media, it's not being reacted to quite well from Oxford fans. Apparently they're not too happy about it. I don't know why.
Really?
But that's what I've seen on social media. I can't imagine why. They did their top scorer last season, got 19 goals, so he's going to have some competition. I'm assuming he was a striker.
Who was it?
Not sure. I'm assuming he was a striker. It was a player called Mark Harris.
Mark Harris. He started number 9 for them in the opening game.
Who's 25 years of age.
Well, he's got a big competition then going into the new season. It's not cut and dry that he's going to get consistent football.
Says here Mark Harris can play winger and striker, versatile forward. So look, I don't know if he's going to play with him or in competition with him, but he's going to have to battle for his minutes, and hopefully this move really works out. The main thing for me is I just want to see him get game time. I want to see him given a platform to show what he's capable of, because the last few loan deals just hasn't been that. So he really needs just a loan deal where he's playing for a team who are going to be attacking, creating chances, and he's going to have chances to show what a good finisher he is. Yeah,
I really hope he does get the desired minutes, because if you've got a player that scored 19 goals for you last season, he's obviously going to have the shirt, and it's going to be up to Scarlett to win that shirt. They do play a 4-2-3-1, so unless they change their system, it will only be one striker on the pitch. Unless Scarlett, maybe he can play somewhere different in a number 10 or a wing role, but I assume that he will be there for the number 9.
Did Harris play up front then last game?
Yeah, and scored.
Well, there you go. So it's not... Look, but the thing is, Championship's a long season. There are lots of games. So, and one injury as well, and all of a sudden he's in the team. So I'm hoping they've picked this club for a reason, and because there are links with Sunderland as well. So I'm hoping that they looked at Oxford and think he's more likely to get minutes, and they've maybe promised him that he's going to get chances. So we'll have to wait and see how it works out. But a Championship loan is really encouraging, and if he does get minutes and get chances and scores regularly, then that will be amazing. But we'll just have to keep an eye on it.
With Dane, if he doesn't impress in this loan spell, and if he can't get into the team, do you feel like this is his kind of last chance?
I wouldn't like to say it's his last chance, because he's still very young, but he has had many opportunities now, various loan spells that hasn't worked out. But then again, if we would say Kane's last loan deal before he went to the first team was his last chance, we might have sold him, and look how it turned out. So I wouldn't say it's his last chance, but I would say it's really important that he does impress, because it's really important for his development that he can really kick on and start getting regular minutes in men's football, because he hasn't been able to do so far. For a while, so that's the really important thing. But he's still so young. I wouldn't say it's his last chance.
But I think it's also a different time, isn't it, than when Kane broke into the team. I know we had Soldado and Adebayor at that time, who both weren't impressing, and then Kane kind of got that chance because of that. right now you're looking at Spurs' strikers going into next season. You've got Richarlison there, you've got Solanke there now, and you've also got two other young strikers that are hoping to make a name for themselves this season, in Will Lancashire and Alejo Veliz. So I mean, it's massive competition, isn't it?
Definitely. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying that if he fails to impress that he can walk into the team. Definitely not. I'm just saying just because this one doesn't work out doesn't mean it's over for him. Like, he still hopefully will get a chance to impress maybe next pre-season, or maybe another loan deal in January to a different club if this one doesn't work out. So look, I don't want to put that pressure on him that it's this or bust for him, because he's still so young. He's 20 years of age, and just because you've had a few unsuccessful loan deals at 20 doesn't mean that you're not good enough. But obviously, there should be a bit of pressure on him because the last few loan deals haven't worked out, and it's really important this one he starts to show why everyone was so excited about him.
Yeah, well, we do wish Dane the best of luck, and we will be keeping a close eye on him, that's for sure. Let's go and see how it all broke down on Twitter. If you go down to the bottom and go to the Spurs announcement, they just said Dane Scarlett has joined Championship side Oxford on loan for the 24-25 season. Good luck, Dane. And then Oxford broke it like this, saying, "Is it a bird? Is it a plane?" And then they said, and they didn't even finish it.
No, it's a Dane. No, it's a Dane.
Exactly, no, it's a Dane. And then Oxford said, Oxford are delighted to announce the signing of Dane Scarlett on loan from Tottenham Hotspur. And then there was a bit of an...
They should have done a Captain Scarlett meme.
Yeah,
they
100%.
absolutely
They missed the trick there.
Absolutely missed the trick.
And then he did a bit of an interview, which the one I was talking about, saying that, it's important for him to impress, what he brings to the team. He looked fairly awkward in the interview, to be honest. Doesn't seem like he's had too much media training.
Yeah, well...
Did you watch the interview?
No, I didn't, but this deal happened very quickly, so I don't know if it's all been rushed through. And
well, he actually said in the interview over the weekend he was watching the Oxford game because he knew the move was happening.
Well, that's good. So maybe this one's been in the offing for a few days, but in terms of from what we know, in terms of it all happened, the news broke, and then all of a sudden a few hours later he's being announced. So that happened kind of quickly in terms of the public. But I don't know whether they wanted to get it over the line so he's ready for the next Oxford game, which what is it, midweek or is it next week?
The next Oxford game is tonight.
It's tonight. Oh, is he in the
against Peterborough in the EFL Cup?
So if he haven't officially announced, it's probably too late. Maybe he is going to be in the squad tonight. We'll have to wait and see.
But they play Coventry away on the weekend in the Championship.
Maybe he'll be on the bench tonight. I don't know whether when he has to be registered to be able to play. But maybe if he is in the squad, you can understand why I was a bit rushed to get him into the squad tonight. We'll have to wait and see. If he's not, then obviously that theory is nonsense. But we'll have to wait and see. And
then they said, a new 44 in the building. Good night, Yellows. What is it about Dane in this 44 shirt? He loves this 44.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's just going to be his... I thought that was just his number because he was a youth player.
That's what I thought.
But maybe that's a number he really
kind of
likes.
Sticking with him now, isn't it? And then this morning they tweeted out saying, "Good morning," with a nice bright smile from Dane Scarlett.
They all seem very excited, don't they?
And
happy.
Then they said 44 on the back, Ox on the front. Obviously that's the logo, and this is more pictures on Dane Scarlett in his Oxford shirt. And then the last one, well, there's two more, and then it says, "Finally, the ones you've been waiting for." I don't know why these are the particular ones you've been waiting for.
He's pointing to the camera. Someone in the comments, Barry James, saying "the ones" with a thinking emoji. Like, why is he the ones? Yeah, I think so. But look, he looks good in it. Hopefully he can be a success. We'll have to wait and see.
Let's hope so. What's your prediction of how many goals he's going to get this season?
I'm going to say...
I hope it's double digits. That's all I hope for.
I mean, it's so important. It's possible to say. I don't know if he's going to hit double digits. I'm going to go 8.
I'm going to back him. I'm going to go double digits. 11 goals.
11 goals. All right.
But those were the announcements. AC Milan have signed Emerson Royal. Finally, that saga is over and done with. You won't see Emerson Royal again on our Tottenham updates.
Breaking news. We can add to the update, I think.
All right, we'll get to that in a minute. And Dane Scarlett has joined Oxford on loan. So let us know in the comments section below how you think he's going to do out on loan.